We're about to design a screen for the invoice that we just designed. We designed a whole new file called VG Invoice, and we're about to design a screen for us. The define file said that it created a screen 0 for us, and only 54 fields could fit on it or some such. I've never heard of that happening. I think it could only fit 17 fields generally. Might fit more if it could fit them in columns, but I think it's made a mistake here. I've seen this happen occasionally. FilePro very rarely comes up with errors. But yeah, this is a pretty good error here. This screen, it really could only fit 17 fields, as I said. It fit the first 17 fields. Then, because none of them were too long, it put the other 52, 53, 54 fields there, and it said I fit 54 fields here. Well, in any case, this isn't going to be very useful to us. Not very useful at all. So let's just copy this screen to screen 1 like we did before with the customer file. I press C, and I want to copy it. Well, I did it badly. I'm going to press delete. I'm going to do it again. I press C for copy, and I'll copy to a new file 1. Okay, now I should be on screen 1, and I am. Now I love to design screens. First thing I'm going to do is get rid of this top thing. I used to be able to do this much better and faster when I could see. Now I'm doing things with a lot of memory going on, and it's very much more difficult. But I'm going to show you that I'm going to just design this screen, and I want you to watch as I do it. I may talk a little bit along as I'm doing it, but on the whole, I'm just going to make the screen look good. By the way, I'm going to delete R fields first off. I mean, that's one thing I do wherever I see them. The reserved fields don't need to be on the screen. And so with F4, I'm deleting most of those. Okay, let's see. The invoice I want to design, I think I want it to be where, let's see if I can push these down a little bit. I think I want the invoice number, let's say IM number, that's good enough, to show up right here. And this is going to be a field that I generate. I'm going to go get a unique number every time I need one, so I'm not going to let their cursor in the field. Instead of putting an asterisk here, I'm going to put a protection indicator, exclaim. That means just show the field on the screen and don't let their cursor get into it. So now I've taken care of invoice number, and I think the next thing I would probably want is the here I'm going to probably put cust code. So let's just put cust. That's good enough. And there I do want their cursor to go in here so they can enter a customer code. I definitely want a date on my invoice. Now you see, in this case I was going to type it in, and I don't need to. I can just pull it over with F2, and I get the date nice and neat there. The type, let's just use the word type. Okay, type, and we got type. Okay, so this little block is pretty nice up here. Now I'm going to pull the bill to. You know what? I'm just going to say bill to. Let me resolve the screen. I'm going to press F5 to resolve the screen. I see that the longest field there starts about there, so that's good. I'll hit enter to stop resolving, and I'm going to just write bill to. And I know it's going to be about 30 characters long. So that's the address size of the bill to fields, and we've got 7 here, so I'm going to count over from here. 8, I got all the way over to here before I have to stop. Now, that actually, what I'm going to do is move these fields under there. It's going to say contact company and all that, but I don't want those names there. I just want these fields. So let me move them. I made a little box. I hit F7 up there, hit it right there, and now I'm going to make a box around these places with the M command for move. I'm going to move this box of things right over here underneath my bill to. Okay, then I'm going to go get rid of these words bill to, because remember they just represented sort of, if you look at the map, I wrote the words bill to as just a heading for the bill to, and then I wrote a ship to for the heading of the ship to stuff, and that's down at line 16. But okay, now let's see if we can if we resolve the fields here, see that we go all the way over there. I don't know if if Shift 2 is going to fit, but I'm going to see if I can make it fit. Here is the Shift 2 stuff. It starts at, let's see, contact the Shift 2 start at 13, 12 or 13. Something went wrong. I lost all my, oh no, everything's good. I want to clear this box. So I'm going to go down here and I'm just going to get to the bottom corner of the box, say B for blank. And here's where we're going to start the Shift 2 stuff. Okay, I might as well grab this Shift 2 numbers. 1 is 17. So I got about as much good as the screen as I could. To put the Shift 2 now on the screen, I'm going to resolve it one more time. And I'm going to move my cursor over to where the neatest place I can get to is probably leave a couple spaces. And let's go up here, end the resolve, and just say Shift 2. Okay. Now, the Shift 2 field started, was it at 16 or 17? The Shift 2 contact name was at 17. And now I can just fill those in. 18, 19, 20. And we're going to change these around a little bit because these are city, state, zip. And I lost some stuff, I think. So field 12 is the city. That's good. And we'll just put over here, after 15 characters or so, the state and the zip. We'll resolve the fields. Just barely got it. That's good enough for me. Now I'll get rid of these guys. Now I'll do the same thing over here. Must be that 21 is the city field for this guy, so say 21. I'll go over a little bit, put 22 and 23. Let's see if this will resolve. It almost doesn't resolve. You see how the dots are wrapped around the screen, so I don't have enough room to do this exactly the way I want to do it. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say move this whole block a little bit over here. I'll move this block 2, 3 over. Let's see what that does. Now I'll resolve the fields. Let's see, I got dots everywhere, dots on the side. Seems like we're okay. I'm going to press escape, escape, and save the screen roughly where it is, so that if I make a mistake from here, I can deal with it. Now you see what I've done? I've put fields where I'm not listing the names of the fields so much, because as long as I say build to, and I can put my cursor here, turn on the reverse video, and either type in like that to make that reverse video, or I could come over here and do this with a block function. Very same thing. Okay, I'm sorry. If I just start at any particular place, like right here on the build to, and I turn on the block functions, on the Shift 2 rather, and then I say I for inverse, it'll turn that whole field inverse. So now what I'm doing is sort of demarcating the screen in a way that's, I can do it without wasting the field numbers. Now, there's one thing that's a little strange here. Probably only if I press F6 to look at the fields, yes, there's a company name and an address and so forth and so forth. There probably isn't going to be a company name for the Shift 2 that's different. I put that there just to be very, very thorough, but it's not often that you're going to need all this stuff. But in any case, I have this done. Now I'm going to finish up this screen pretty quickly, or at least start the finishing of it. And in here, I'm going to sell them some catalog number or some product number. So I'll put prod number, and over here I'll put description, and I 30 characters over from here. And by the way, if I look at the bottom of the screen, I can see that I'm at position 8. So 38 characters over, because this is the description's 30 characters. Position 8 plus 30 is, I have to go to 38. Here's where that ends. I could have done it with resolve field, but I just did it with where I haven't put the field in yet, so I'm just trying to figure out where it's going to end when I do use it. And here I can put, say, quantity, and over here I can put maybe price, and over here I can put charge. Okay, now what fields go there? Well, let's see. Under the product catalog, under the product number, we start with 25. We have 25, 26, and 27. 25, 26. See why I did this way? There's lots of other reasons for doing it this way, but I'm going to push this over a little bit just so we can look. Because our product numbers, if I resolve now, will go all the way over to there. So I'm going to push this just a little bit further. I think I'm still okay. Now I'm going to go look and see what the description or the product for 31. Here we go, 31. Put 32. And I'll put 33. Now, I can show you a little trick. I'm going to press F7, and I'm going to press save. Save just means I saved those things somewhere on a clipboard. Okay, now I'm going to move over here. Okay. And I'm going to put my cursor by quantity. Let's do it for the back end here. I've lost where it is, really. Okay, let's see. I put the cursor here under quantity, and I'm going to press F7 and paste. And then I'm going to hit enter. See what it did there? I pasted that thing off the clipboard. I'm going to do it again. F7, paste, enter. And then I'm going to do it over here too. F7, paste, and enter. Okay? Now all I have to do is come and put the field things there. We know this quantity. Remember, I switched it to a 3-character field. Let's see what quantity is. Quantity starts at 37, and all the rest start 6 after that. So 37, 43, etc. 37, 43, 49. Let's just do that. We have 37, 38, 39, 43, 44, 45, 49, 50, 51, and let's resolve the fields. Now I like to make things line up very neatly, so I have to move price and charge over a little bit. Okay, I'll put my cursor in front of price. I'll press F1 a couple times. Maybe that'll do it. Resolve the fields. Too far. Pull it back one, resolve the fields. The price looks good. Charge looks good. Quantity looks good. Description is going to left justify. Product number is not exact, but it's going to start where the beginning of the field starts. So this screen looks almost pretty good. Let's finish a little bit up. Underneath the charge, we're going to put some equal signs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how long it is. Underneath the charge, we're going to put the subtotal field. Let's see if I can type it right. G-O-T-A-L. Let's pull that back over a little bit. How about like that? That's good. Some people like to put it. We like to put a colon after everything. Okay, subtotal field, and then the subtotal field, I forget what it is, so I'm going to take a quick look. It goes subtotal, tax, shipping, and total, starting at 55. So I'm going to do subtotal, which I'm going to calculate. I don't want to have them type it in. They'd have to add it up. I calculate that. This one I'm going to have to let them enter. That was tax, I believe. Okay. And this one was shipping. Okay, I'm going to use F2 to fix things up and move around quickly. Okay, shipping was going to be 57. Then we're going to put a little another equals line there, and we'll put total. And we'll put the total as 58, I guess. Let's see if it is. Press F6, and the total field shows up as field 58. Great. We're missing payment. Now, a lot of times I like to do put the payments. I like to do it this way. Doesn't matter, you can do anything you want really, but I have to keep things in an organized way for myself, so I kind of like to put things in the order they come, and payments come after you get the total. And we'll put that payment, I think the payment field was 59, was it? Let's see, 59 was the payment. Okay, 59. And you know what? We forgot a field because we should have a field. Let's put it, we know what it's going to be. We're going to put a calculated field, 60. And what's that going to be? That'll be balance due. In other words, the total minus any payments we got. Okay. Alright, let's just resolve this screen, see if it sort of lines up. Everything but balance due, those things are lined up. The totals are lined up. The things that aren't are tax and shipping. Tax has to move over 1, shipping has to move over 2, I think. At least I'm listening to things that you wouldn't believe spin by in my ears right now. I'm just going to try and get to that field. This is the hardest part for me, is counting down to where I know I have to be. I'm not good at this yet. I used to be so fast at this. This had to go over 2 and this had to go over 1. Okay, now everything looks nice and lined up. They're all different sizes. We've got fields everywhere. We're not losing anything. Let's just pretty this screen up one little bit more. Okay, I'm going to turn on a box function. I'm going to come here and press inverse. I'm going to turn on the box function with F7. I'm going to inverse this guy. Turn on the box function over here, and I'll inverse this guy. Alright, the last two. Okay. If I resolve, let me make sure that all the fields look the same. I already did this, but I want to do it again. So far we're looking pretty good. Did I chop off any fields? It looks like I chopped off some. Well, it looks like the end of field marker is right next to the bill to. I want to see if I can fix that. So end of field markers right here, right around here. If I press F5, they're sort of close. So I want to see if I press this one more. Will it still resolve over there? No, it didn't make it. Or it did make it sort of, but not good enough. We could do two things. I could pull this up. Here's the thing we're going to do. We're going to pull this whole box a little closer. I'm doing this all to show you the design of a screen, and I'm talking about a few things as we're going, not so that you get bored watching me design a screen, but so that you know you can do the various things that I've been doing. This move, I'm going to move over one that way. Now when I resolve fields, there's still enough space between the build to and the ship to make sense. Now I'm going to push the whole build to and ship to. I pressed home. I'm going to move all these guys over. I could do it with a box move, or I could press F1, down arrow, F1, down arrow, F1, down arrow, F1, just move them over one at a time. Now I'll resolve fields, and I get all the dots everywhere that I should, and the ship to is not so close, and the build to is not so close, and I think everything's all right now. And the only last thing I might do for this is, I think I will, might make it more cluttered, but it might not. I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to press F7. I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to draw a line. So I'm going to press D. That draws a line from here to there. Then I'm going to go here, and I'm going to draw a line over to here. I'll press D. Now I need a corner right here, so I'm going to press F9 to turn on the graphics mode, and I'm going to hit the bottom corner of the keypad. Of course, my numlock is on, so I messed everything up. I'll do this again. My numlock is off because I have to listen to my screen reader, so I'm going to turn it off first. I'm going to hit the bottom corner of the keypad and get an actual box. Okay, now we resolve the screen. This is what our invoice screen is going to look like. It only took us a few minutes to build it. You're sighted, you should be able to build this in about 3/4 less the time than I did, or maybe even half the time that I did. But it's a screen that's pretty neat. Now all I want to do before I leave the screen is press F8 and look at the cursor path. The cursor path is too weird for words, so I'm just going to delete the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to press Escape to make sure I don't have any fields left on here. Okay. Now I press Escape. I go back to the screen, and I'm going to save this screen. In the next lesson, I will show you a little bit about why I wanted to completely delete the cursor path and put one in my own, and we'll move on from there.